From the Fist First release, it's Tough with Tied to the Bells. And Tied to the Bells is Chris and Neely. Well, actually, we were tied to the cross by the shoe and his family. The shoe and his family.
Yeah.
Taking us down.
You know what, though, dude? I'm okay with the fact that they did attack. Look, if it was me, I would attack too. You know, if it was my kid, I would attack too. But
sure.
At least it swung around.
You know what I find funny is that through all the infinite wisdom as an adult, that this kid had more insight than the two adults did.
Well, it's because the kid is out there doing it.
Right.
You know, when you're out there doing it, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I can only speak for me. I don't take criticism to heart at all.
Neither do I, and you know, in a recent experience of my personal life, that it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially for the radio show, though, I don't care. You know, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do on the radio show, and I just don't give a shit what anybody thinks. So, you know, for me personally, I can't even fathom taking it seriously that somebody would be upset with the show. I expect people to be upset with the show.
Well, that's the whole idea, is to get a reaction, be it negative or positive. Yeah. Getting a reaction is sort of the whole premise of doing the show. It's just like, we don't want anyone to kiss our ass. Neither one of us want that. I don't care about it. I don't care if anybody ever likes what we do. No. But as long as it causes you to have a reaction, positive or negative, that's the reason we do it.
Look, there's a reason. I'll point to Ron Keel as a friend, but I'll make a clear statement. Ron Keel is a world-renowned person.
He's a known name.
We're not world-renowned. I mean, I guess we are on some level, but we certainly have not been in front of as many people as Ron Keel.
Not at all.
And our numbers are what? What is Ron Keel today on Spreaker?
Probably like 18,000.
And we're at what? 165.
165,000.
You know, and we've been on the same time on Spreaker.
Yep.
You know, I mean, we've literally been on the same time as Ron Keel. And it's because Ron does, and I'm not even saying this in a bad way. I'm just saying it the way it is. Ron does a nice show.
Yeah, it's safe. It's safe and it's nice.
He doesn't go after people. He doesn't offend people. Ron has 9,751 plays, downloads, whatever. Or he has like 10,000 between plays and downloads. He has 10,000. We have 164,000. Now, that's not me slamming Ron Keel. That's just saying when you do positive, and look, this has been great, and having a great time out here on the road, and I had a great time with my friend, you know, Mark Kendall on the road, and we're going to talk to Mark. And Mark, how great was it out on the road? Oh, it was great. When everything's great, no one cares.
Right.
You know, it's when you challenge people and you give them an alternative way to look at shit that people react, good or bad. And we're all for that, you know. And Lord knows I host Ron's show from time to time. You know, so I certainly understand, and, you know, I'm not against it. I'm not angry with Ron or think that he does something subpar or less than us or anything like that. I just think we get a reaction because we challenge people.
Right.
We challenge people's imaginary line. We always talk about that imaginary line where you and I don't have a line. There's nothing.
You cross the line, pal.
I mean, Lord knows, and most of the listeners didn't hear it. Those that were here in Cleveland heard it. If ever there was a line that you have, I crossed it on the birthday show
a year ago.
Yeah. That was as close to a line cross as it ever comes. And I'm not positive on this because, honestly, I was blackout drunk and I don't remember. But if the stories I've heard are correct, you didn't initially go to pull the plug. someone came and got you and said, this is getting way out of control.
Your friend John.
Is that how that's how it went, right?
Your friend John came up and said, dude, these girls are way underage. They shouldn't even be in here. And what he's saying to them is just out of hand. You got to do something.
So that's when you pulled the plug.
I pulled the plug.
But I don't know that crossed your line. I mean, I know you hated it.
I didn't like it, but I wasn't going to stop you either.
Right. Because that's the show we do, is always push the boundary, always challenge it, always challenge authority. And Lord knows, from everything I've heard that I said at that show, that might have crossed my own personal line. I know some of the shit that I heard that I said, I was like, oof, boy, that's not very nice, but it is what it is. And it happened. And, even with that, we continued on the next week. We went right back to doing what we do the next week.
Right.
And that's the way it should be. There is no line.
Well, the way that I look at it, where you're concerned, is I'm not your keeper.
No. Well, dude, there's a part of the crazy that makes the show work. Not to try and define how the show works or whatever, because I really don't think that we have that kind of a definition. But there's something to the crazy that makes it work for people. The fact that I'll fucking live my life on the radio and do crazy shit and say crazy shit. And the fact that you react to it in an analytical way breaks it down.
Right.
And I mean, that's what it is. And I just don't know that everybody understands that.
No, it's out of touch with society for the most part.
Yeah.
And it's kind of unorthodox in the way you go about it and so on and so forth. But that's how it works. That's how it works for us.
Yeah. And it's worked well. I mean, that's why as far as the internet goes, I can't imagine that there's too many shows bigger than us that are actually personality driven.
Right. I agree.
I can't imagine that there are. There may be, but I don't know what they are. I haven't heard of them.
Right. So...
Anyway, what does any of this have to do with Rock Harvest? Not a goddamn thing.
Well, it's just following it up with the last segment. But anyway, real quick before we cut out of here for the evening,
okay.
We have covered this. Initially, this was brought on by our good friend Tony from Kansas City, who is a diehard rock fan, and he. He enjoys traveling and going to these shows, going to the cruises, all these other things that feature the bands that he loves.
Sure.
That's a guy who's very passionate about his music.
Mm-hmm. He loves his tunes, and he's willing to invest his money into seeing it.
Right. So this Rock Harvest Fest that was supposed to take place over in Maryland last week, and it did take place, but not in the way that it was originally advertised.
No.
It was supposed to be a pretty good thing, a 3-day event that featured a lot of the bands and, artists that me and Chris, we're personally friends with.
Sure.
Be it Stevie Rochelle of Tough or Billy Morris or... Jizzy Pearl or Nader the Priest or
Ronnie Monroe
or Veronica Freeman from Benedictum and our new friend Leather Leone and just the list just goes on and on. Just so many people that Chris and I personally are friends with over the years of doing the Classic Metal Show. We really wanted to be a part of something like this, but and
hold on, before you even go there, it also gave us a chance to go and see, CMS Mikey.
Yeah, exactly, because Mikey doesn't live far from that.
So venue. we were gonna see fans of the show. We were gonna see friends of the show band wise. It was a good event for us.
Yeah, it would have been a good event for us, and we were really looking forward to that. But unfortunately, it fell apart. Right. And our good friend Tony from Kansas City first kind of tipped Chris off to this, that things were not going well over there. And we just kind of delved into it and discussed it a little bit and talked to our good friend Nader, and we talked to our good friend Stevie Rochelle from Tough and realized that there was something not on the up and up about this whole event and organization.
Right. And to be clear, those aren't the only two that we talked to. Those are the only two that we talked to publicly.
Right.
Because as you're well aware, I had conversations with no less than 10 other bands.
Right.
That all reached out but didn't necessarily want to come on and be public about the fact that everything that was being said was pretty accurate.
Sure. So apparently Channel 2 ABC News in Maryland got involved with this, and they decided to do an investigative story on this as well.
Right.
And this past Thursday, they ran a whole story on the newscast about this, and it did not bode well for the promoters and the organizers of this event, Rock Harvest.
No, it did not.
And so I'm going to play the little clip here of the Rock Harvest news report. And so far, and if there's any more, to be, reported on this, we'll play this in the coming weeks. But for right now, this is what we have.
Okay.
Win the Yingling Party Trailer.
Wouldn't you know, it's stupid commercials.
Fucking ads.
I hate that.
The fucking ads get you again.
That's all. That's the only way they can play this crap is stupid ads.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is anymore.
Even on newscasts.
Dude, everything, man. YouTube is full of it now. You can't watch a single YouTube video without an ad playing.
Right. All right. Here we go.
It sounds like a good idea on paper. Charity concerts where you hear great music and the money goes to a great cause.
Yeah, but what happens when the organizers won't show you where the money goes? ABC 2 News investigator Josie Sturman's here to explain.
Well, Jamie, that local group, Fallen Blue, claims the money they raise will help the families of officers who've died at their own hand, paying for funerals, one day creating scholarships, and a memorial to honor those fallen officers. But they wouldn't show us any proof.
All right. So there. So this Fallen Blue is for officers who basically crack under stress and blow themselves away.
I don't think that's necessary.
But that's how they depict it here, is that they die at their own hand.
Yeah, I think later in the newscast they clarify that a little bit. I think it's more like a cop that's in a car accident and dies.
Okay, well, it just
fire or something.
Well, this kind of leads you to believe that these people were blowing themselves away just due to the cracking under stress of being a police officer.
Yeah, they sort of misled that from the start.
All right.
I'm gonna be honest. To be honest, I had no idea that was truly the case. I thought that Fallen Blue,
were people who died in the line of duty.
Yeah, I thought it was fallen officers.
Right. Okay.
So, news to me.
All right.
Heavy metal headbanging with a heart. That's the message for a concert staged last weekend at a White Marsh club. But we went behind the music to learn about the cause it benefits because something didn't sound quite right. We want to talk to you about Fallen Blue, your organization.
No, thank you.
This man, John.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
And by the way, I want to go back just a little bit. You don't have to go the audio back, but I just wanted you to comment. What did you think of that big crowd that was there?
There was like 6 people standing in front of the stage.
Didn't look too packed.
I didn't see Tony there.
No, where was Tony?
Yeah, there was like 6 people in front of the stage.
It didn't look like Stevie Rochelle and Tough on stage.
It didn't look like a whole club full of people at all.
Looked like 20, maybe.
Okay.
Garaneri runs Fallen Blue, a Maryland-based group that claims to provide emotional and financial support for the families of police officers killed outside the line of duty.
Okay, outside the line of duty.
Yeah, what the hell? I don't get why they would need a charity for that. That's called everybody. Guess what? If I don't die at work, then what? I'm somehow less than a cop that dies outside of work?
I don't know.
And I'm not bashing on the cops. I love the cops, but the thing that they need a charity for is the cops that are taken out for doing the job.
Right.
Right?
That's how I understood it, but when I watched this report, police who die outside the line of duty, so that either, like you said, is like a car crash or suicide.
Yeah, or fire or something. But I just don't understand why they need a charity for natural cause death or outside of cop death. The reason anybody would support a cop charity, look, we have friends that are cops. We love the cops. But, I'm not going to be so inclined to be out there to, buy a cop, donate money for cops that died of a heart attack. As much as I would definitely tomorrow I would donate money for cops that get shot at a car stop,
a convenience store, a robbery or something like that.
Because their job is so unbelievably difficult and dangerous. When it does happen, you want to support those guys. You want to support the rest of them too. You want to make sure that the cops that don't get killed in the line of duty understand that there are people out there that care.
Sure.
And I don't know. I don't know. Now, the whole premise of the charity is kind of fucked at this point.
Right.
For years on Facebook and in postings on its own website, Fallen Blue claimed to be a police nonprofit. But we wanted proof.
We can't find any filings anywhere. Can you answer that? Where does the money actually go?
We had questions for Garaneri after confirming.
The guy just walks away.
Dude, how come nobody ever just goes up to these people and is like, either shut the fuck up or I'm going to punch you in the fucking mouth.
Right.
And then punch him in the mouth.
Right.
I never understand why. If I was being challenged like this, I would, knowing that you're going to jail, this guy has to know that he's in real fucking trouble.
Yeah,
when
the whole no thank you. Yeah. What do you mean no thank you?
But at this point he knows he's
in deep shit now.
So what does it hurt?
Yeah, no thank you.
You're bringing me down, bitch. Bang! Hit her in the fucking face. Nice. Just knock her the fuck out.
It's like I'm going to jail anyway.
You're wearing blue, bitch, and now you're falling.
Right.
Here's $1.
Fallen Blue is not registered as a nonprofit with the IRS or with Maryland's Secretary of State, which oversees nonprofits here. That agency says charitable organizations are required to register before they start soliciting. But ABC2 investigators found Fallen Blue has been holding concerts to raise money for years without any registration.
It didn't all add up. And it's still not adding up.
Stevie Rochelle is the lead singer of the 80s hair band Tough. His group was approached about playing Fallen Blue's flagship event, a 3-day concert called Rock Harvest. It was held last year and again last weekend, both times billed as an event benefiting the police nonprofit Fallen Blue.
If I do remember correctly, it was really stressing the fact that these were officers that were killed and basically families that were left with, without a father, without the husband, without the income. And this charity was going to be raising money to help those families.
When we asked to talk.
Okay, so we had Stevie on the show last week.
Right.
Which we've known Stevie for how long? At least 15 years?
Yeah, 10 to 15 minimum.
At least.
Yeah.
So, he comes on this show to talk, and, he's on this NBC station to talk. Mm-hmm. It's just so freaking funny to see this stuff. It's just like, you and I have known these dudes for like forever, and it's just like, again, how did this ABC 2 News even get onto the story? Do you think Stevie turned them onto it, or do they think they just like did it on their own, or what?
I have a hunch that the fact that he gets profiled with video might have a strong clue on who might have turned who on to what.
Right.
Just a hunch, but somehow they had to work out a Skype and a Skype grab and everything else to record Stevie's audio.
Sure. Well, I don't, again, I don't think nobody else, outside of Stevie and the CMS, as far as I know, has covered this at all.
I did like how Stevie wore his metal sludge hat, though.
Oh, of course. You gotta promote.
Gotta promote. You're going to be on NBC or whatever.
Right. ABC News 2 over in Maryland. Well, good for him.
Right.
But got to get that promotion in any way you can get it.
Sure he does. Surprised he wasn't wearing a fucking cheese head. Wasn't he like responsible for some of that shit?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, he did that cheesehead thing.
Yeah, cheeseheads with attitudes or whatever.
All right, here we go. Come on now, play.
A concert called Rock Harvest. It was held last year and again last weekend. Both times billed as an event benefiting the police nonprofit Fallen Blue.
If I do remember correctly, it was really stressing the fact that these were officers that were killed and basically families that were left with, without a father, without the husband, without the income. And this charity was going to be raising money to help those families.
When we asked to talk to one of those families, Fallen Blue ignored the question, but they took our money for the concert tickets. We bought a pair for $25 each and hit the Thursday night show.
All right, I'm counting 8 people in front of that stage. And it's funny that they brought the cameras in there, too.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So $25 a piece, 8 people in front of the stage.
Wow. I'm wondering if they were able to pay everybody.
Looking for John Garaneri to get some answers. We found Fallen Blue t-shirts for sale and items up for charity auction, the same way they're listed online by the group. But no one, not even the founder, could tell us what happens to the money they raise from these things or the concert.
There has to be a paper trail. There has to be some accountability.
Bob Douglas knows about accountability. He runs a registered nonprofit, the National Police Suicide Foundation, and contracts with federal, state, and local agencies to do exactly what Fallen Blue claims, to raise awareness about officers who take their own lives.
All right, so there we go. Officers that take their own lives again.
Oof. I'm almost wondering if they aren't sure what this fucking charity is.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because they've totally changed directions 2 or 3 times here. First it was, like natural cause type stuff. Now it's back. Or first it was suicide, then natural cause stuff. Now it's back to suicide.
Right.
So who knows?
While Douglas applauds the cause, he says Fallen Blue needs to be transparent, providing documentation on their website that makes it clear who they are, what they do, how much money they raise, and where it goes.
You would want to do that. That's not something you would shy away from. You would actually want to do that.
We repeatedly asked Fallen Blue to show us they've filed with the state and feds to become a nonprofit, as their website has been claiming for years. But John Garaneri dodged our questions. After we tried to talk to him, he changed his group's Facebook, removing the term nonprofit from Fallen Blue. But on the Rock Harvest page, Fallen Blue is still listed as a police nonprofit. In an email...
So we're covering it up now.
Yeah. Nathan from Kentucky, I bet Tommy Thayer runs this organization. Jesus Christ. Poor Tommy, man.
I'm going to get Tommy on this show just for the shits and giggles of it.
We got to get Tommy back on it just to say. And we got to have Jackal on.
Yeah.
I think Jackal should do the interview with you instead of me.
It's just like, dude, face up Tommy Thayer and say fuck Thayer to his face. Go right ahead.
That's what I want.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
I make that happen. I will graciously bow out of that interview so that it can be just Jackal one-on-one with Tommy Thayer.
Right.
Garaneri told us he doesn't seek profit, and the expenses they accrue are often more than they bring in.
Really?
I can't imagine that with those 8 people there.
Yeah, you're bringing in people, running out a club, doing promotion, and you're not making enough money to cover your expenses.
I'm sure those people probably dropped, about $2,000 a ticket?
Sure.
They made their money.
Right. Just Tony from Kansas City alone paid for the first opening act.
Tony didn't go?
Right.
He sold his ticket to some sucker.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Really? Well, hey, good for him.
Yeah, some fool that wasn't paying attention.
I'm glad Tony didn't spend the money.
I am too. I'm glad he was able to keep it. Or I think he said he lost a little, but he didn't lose all of it.
All right. Hey, good for you, Tony.
Look, if he got $5 for it, he got more than he should have.
I agree.
Oof.
Garaneri says they thought about becoming a full-fledged nonprofit, but because of high costs, have now opted to donate what they can to another group.
Because of high costs?
What high cost is there to fucking be a nonprofit?
Right. because of high cost.
You file for one fucking form, a 501c3.
Yeah.
You file for it. You just fill it out. I think maybe the administrative fee is like $150
because of high cost.
Yeah, high cost. If 150 is a high cost, then you really are fucking struggling.
Call Now, which is a registered 501c3.
Who's collecting the money? How will it be held?
But Angie Barnett with the Better Business Bureau says if you want to help a good cause, it's best to give to the charity itself.
Give directly to those organizations that have boots on the ground so that that money doesn't go through a middleman, another middleman, and another middleman.
Yeah, like this Gary Airy guy. A middleman to a middleman to a middleman.
Do you think it goes through the middleman? I think it stops at the middleman.
I think so. I think that goes right in whatever is made in the pocket.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
In this case, a middleman whose paperwork failed to reach the right note. Investigators with the Secretary of State's office tell us they cannot comment on a pending investigation, and the IRS won't talk about specific organizations. Now, we did contact the executive director of Safe Call Now to ask how much money Fallen Blue has given to their organization, but he wouldn't say and did not respond when we asked for more information about their relationship through email.
Mile after mile, Toyota has you covered with...
Right, that's enough with the commercials.
Enough with the commercials. What do you think? I'm thinking legitimate charity.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's what I think. I'm thinking legitimate charity.
Right.
I think Stevie was way out of line.
I think so too, and I'll be going down there next fall for
me
Rock
too.
Harvest. I'm in.
Bill Peters has a band playing it, so, you know.
Really? Is that true?
That is true.
Who is it?
I forget which band, but he's already got one that's booked for. I'm gonna definitely make sure that all this audio gets into Bill's hands. I would hate to see
Bill
of all the guys, he's one of my favorites, and I would hate to see Bill just get totally fucking ass raped by these guys.
Bill should know better.
These guys are gonna be out of business before then. Rock Harvest 3 will never fucking ever open its doors.
Nope.
No way. What band would play it?
I don't know. What a fiasco.
Oh my God. Total mess.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank Tony from Kansas City for turning us on to this, and the fact that we forged ahead and did, how many shows did we do? 3 shows on this?
3 shows on this, yeah.
All right. So, you know what? I don't care what kind of ugly emails you got. And did you get some ugly emails?
Yeah. I had a couple of emails saying that we were not fair and didn't give them a forum to give their side.
Hey, if you want to come on, what's his name? John Gary or whatever?
Gary or whatever, yeah.
I
invited him on.
If you want to come on, and I'm throwing this out here, if you want to come on, we'll be back next Saturday and we'll do this again, and you can be a part of the show. If you want to defend your cause or your side of the story, I'd be glad to hear it.
And if he has any kind of a lawyer with any fucking credibility at all, there's no chance he'll be.
No, of course not.
No lawyer's going to let him open his fucking mouth at all at this point. They're hoping to keep him from doing 15 to 50.
Sure.
Fucking, oof. I mean, I wonder what the penalty is if this is truly a fucking scam.
Jail time.
I know it's jail time, but I wonder how much for forging a
nonprofit
organization.
Well, you're defrauding the government is what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is a felony.
Yeah, I know. That's probably 10 years.
Could be.
I mean, they said that he's done a bunch of different shit. I mean, if he's done 50 festivals, all claiming them as nonprofits or whatever. Wow. 50 shows or whatever.
Well, John, if you want to be a part of the Classic Metal Show, you're more than welcome to come on.
But I will say this: we're not going to exactly just say, "Okay, dude, you're right." Then we're definitely not doing that. I'm not. I don't know what you're planning on doing, but I'm calling. I will ask the questions that I have. Specifically, where is your paperwork? Where can I see it?
Right.
And I won't let up. I won't just go, okay, well, you said that it's filed. No. Tell me where I can go.
I want to see it. It's public record.
Yeah. I would like to see it. I would like to post it on my website.
Right.
You know?
All right. I love being buried in controversy. I love it.
We certainly do it enough.
I love it.
It's a far cry from when you were just doing fucking playing songs at WSTB, isn't it?
You're next, Obama.
Oh, boy, that'd be nice to take that fucking hunk of shit down.
No shit.
Dude, you brought it up. I'm going to go there. I don't care what time it is. Are they going to just fucking give up and repeal this hunk of shit?
I wish they would. Really. I wish they would.
Come on. 26,000 people fucking signed up for this shit? 26,000 out of 330 million? That fucking number is pathetic. That's what, 1/100th of a percent? Right? Is that 100th of a percent? 30,000 out of 330 million?
Pretty much.
It's fucking ridiculous. No one's doing it. No one is going to do it. And then it's going to get repealed, but they're still going to want the tax money from the people that didn't do it.
Of course.
Fucking bullshit, man. God damn. It's got to go away.
Look at Nathan from Kentucky. If you like your internet radio station, you can keep it. Not.
Meanwhile, I don't know if you saw it, but did you see the numbers that I put out there on fucking...
Yes, Michelle Obama's staff.
She has a staff that gets paid $1.5 million a year. The bitch does nothing.
Yeah.
What does she do that warrants $1.5 million in staff? That's just in staff.
I know.
$1.5 million.
Why is it the females that comment to your post are always optimistic about that stuff?
Oh, because they're all Dems.
I guess.
If we posted the same shit 6 years ago or whatever about Bush, if Laura Bush would have had $500,000 worth of staff, those same people would be like, fucking bitch stealing our money. And I always make the same point with any political point. You know what is the most infuriating to me personally? It is not that people bitch and moan, about their guy, whatever their guy is. It is the argument that, well, this guy's better than the last guy. Because that's fucking shit. You know what? I don't give a fuck what the last guy did. You can make a change with this guy. So make the change with this guy. Or let's take this even one step further. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Michelle Obama is a monumental cunt for having fucking $1.5 million a year worth of staff, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that's a fair assessment.
Okay.
How about we pass a law right now, 2 years before the next guy, so there can't be any blame, saying from the next guy on, the wife gets no money for staff. No money so that she can fucking cut the grass in the White House and have the White House fucking Thanksgiving. How about we say that? That way you can't blame anybody. That way it just starts at zero. You can't make change when you're constantly blaming the last guy. Blame the current guy and fix the shit. That's why the fucking economy's so fucked up. Because instead of actually making a change, instead of saying, look, we're going to have to cut 20% across the fucking board so that we can cut the deficit from 17 trillion to 12 trillion, whatever the number is. I don't know what 20% of 17 trillion is, but, the only way you're going to do it is if you cut 20% across the board. And you can't just argue and say, well, it's the last guy's fault that it's so fucked up. So therefore, it's justified that this guy keeps fucking it up. How stupid is that, dude? If you work a job, I won't say what your job is, but you work a job,
mm-hmm.
right? Correct?
I do.
You replaced somebody.
Apparently I did, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you came there because somebody else left. At some level or at some focus of something that you do. There was somebody that did it before you.
Right.
Fair?
Yes, that's true.
If that guy was fucking it all up, you can't go to your boss and say, well, you know what? Fucking Joe that was here before me kept fucking it all up. You know what he's going to tell you? Go fuck yourself. You're fired.
Right.
I brought you in to fix it. We brought Obama in. Not me, but all you fucking idiots that voted for that cocksucking fuck. Y'all brought that fucker in to fix what you thought was wrong with Bush. He's not doing it, and you give him a pass. It's the dumbest fucking logic in the history of the world. The last guy was fucked up in your eyes. This guy's no better, but you blame the last guy. You don't say, the guy I brought in is a piece of shit. What is fucking wrong with people?
I agree with you, dude. I mean, I've got no argument.
What is fucking wrong with people? Why can't they just say, why does everything got to be, well, I voted for him, so that makes him good? You know what? You fucked up. You fucked up. I fucked up voting for Bush the second time. You want truth? There's truth. That guy didn't do a goddamn thing his second term. Nothing of merit. Nothing solid. The guy was a waste of fucking 4 years. He got in, his party got stronger, and he fucking did dick. So there, I fucked up. Okay. But that doesn't make Obama better. He's every bit as fucking bad, if not worse. Because at least Bush, he was too dumb to lie. Bush was too dumb to lie, where Obama is fucking smart enough to fucking realize that his lemmings are too fucking stupid to fucking call him out. And when you do call him out, you're a fucking racist. So fuck you, Obama, you fucking cocksucker.
All right. And that will conclude the Classic Metal Show.
There we go.
All right.
Get me started on politics. I can go for days.
I understand. Believe me. I get it. I wake up angry every morning.
No kidding.
All right. Well, I want to thank our guest tonight, Eric Braverman. Congratulations on your 1 year anniversary of the Heavy Metal Television, heavymetaltelevision.com. Yeah. Also, we want to thank Rex Brown of Kill Devil Hill being part of the show, and Joe Stump of Joe Stump. Right. So if you like Noodle and Guitarist, go check that out.
Or beer bottle dicks, as we learned tonight.
Right. And again, if Miles the Shoeman want to be a part of the Classic Metal Show, I'm throwing the invite out to you, man.
Yeah, come on.
I don't care what's his mother's name? Kimmy?
Kimmy.
I don't care what Kimmy or Alonzo or whatever your brother's name is. Alden. Alonzo or Alden or whatever. I don't care what your family says. You seem like you have a lot more sense than those two clown shoes.
You're all right with us, Miles.
Right. All right, let's get out of here. I'm done.
Right,
I'm tired. I'm beat.
Yep, it's
had
time.
Enough.
I'm ready to go too, so let's go.
All right, I haven't played anything from this Chastain, and we need to get Leather Leone back on.
All right, we need to get David Chastain on too, man. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I like those guys and gals and the whole band.
Sure.
But anyway, Chastain has a new release out or coming out. Surrender to No One. We had Leather Leone on the show with our good friend Veronica from Benedictum. And we'll have to get them back on. I'll shoot her an email, see if she wants to come back on. They got a new CD, Surrender to No One. I'm going to play a tune, take us out of here. This was the first track from the release, and this one is called Stand Up and Fight.
Wow, that's violent.
We're good at that.
Yeah.
All right, so until next Saturday night, this is my good... Yeah, let me try and say this all over again. This is Neely, along with my very good friend
chris-akin.
We're out of here.
Bye, kids.